everybody's pissed off, but too late now. We got to get ready for Carolina.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a Monday post-game edition of Sports Talk 49 live on Bucks Report. This show is powered by none other than 320 Solar. Go to 320solar.com. Today, we're going to talk about post-game, what you guys think. Call in, click the link. We'll get you on here. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about the game. Can't always talk about the bad. You got to talk about the good, too. And we're going to talk about all that, about the moves they made, about what happened with the Saints and Drew Brees, Jameis Winston. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on now in the league. That's why I talk about the league. Also on Monday, along with the Bucs. It's fine. You can talk about both, the Bucs, and you can talk about other NFL teams because it all affects everything. Yep, Tim already covered that. So we're going to get into all that very shortly. But first and foremost, I want you guys to check out, and we're going to go to quick. We're going to show all the sponsors here at Bucks Report real quick, and we'll come back lighting the fire and talking about the post-game to the Bucks versus Saints. So you guys be ready right after these sponsors, and we'll get into all that.
Going solar with 320 may cost you nothing down. But the work we do is not a $0 job. With a 10-year roof penetration warranty and solar panels guaranteed for 25 years, you can have peace of mind knowing we will do the job right every time without question. .320 Solar. Power up.
And we're back. We're back. We'll talk post game Carolina versus Buccaneers. You're just tuning in to Sports Talk 49 live on Bucks Report every Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. Monday doing post game, Friday doing pregame. And also look at on my social media for always my perspectives, giving a take, talking about what happened in the game at a particular player position and things like that. And you can find all that content right here at Blake Anthony 49 live on Twitter, and make sure to check that out. Also, with all the sponsors you just saw there, make sure to check out Fast Track Cannabis Clinics of America. That is the nation's largest medical marijuana doctor with over 2,500 state licensed doctors in all 32 states. Medical marijuana is legal. Also, My Cannabis Card effectively links new patients with the closest licensed medical marijuana doctor near them, while also saving up to 30% on just evaluation costs. Just mentioned Sports Talk 49, Blake Anthony, or Bucks Report. Also, the show's powered by 320 Solar. Finally, say goodbye to your electric bill. Go solar for zero out of pocket with 320 Solar. Sign up for zero out of pocket and pay nothing out of pocket till 2022. So put the power back into your pocket. eWire Solutions, smart home electrical. Go to www.ewiresolutions or call 813-667-2003. Daniela Styling Studios. Go to www.ladybarberdaniela.booksky.com and book your appointment today. Don't hesitate to look good. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself nice. Get yourself something nice. You look good, you feel good. You feel good, you get paid good. And you get paid good, you obviously live good. And also, last but definitely not least, we do our live remotes there, and it is the Sports Bar and Grill of Bucks Report, the Deck Bar and Grill at Isla del Sol. Make sure to check out pre, half, and post-game shows there with Peter Blake and myself and many other of your favorites at Bucks Report. And make sure to check us out there. We'll be there for the primetime game against the Rams and giving to you all Buccaneer content. With that being said, we'll move on. We'll talk about what we got going on here with the Bucks versus the Panthers post-game. Bucks putting a shellacking on the Carolina Panthers after taking a beating to the Saints just last week. Bucks win 46-23 and a convincing win. Ronald Jones has a big day. Just so much to talk about. And speaking of talk about, let's check out the comment section by the 49ers. Misador, what is going on? Tim Witherspoon. Drew Brees has suffered from a fractured rib on the left side and two on the right, possibly more. Per Ed Werder, doctors have cautioned Brees to especially careful with damage to his lung. Anna Scheffner, ESPN writer. Yep, he's got to be careful. He's getting older, and these are the reasons why he wanted to retire, so things like that happens. And it's ironic that Jameis Winston has things in his contract that he gets paid more money when he has to play if Drew goes out per injury. And look what happened. Drew Brees is going to be out per injury. So the Saints are now operated by Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston. Let me say that again. The Saints are now operated by Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston. Last week, the sky was falling. The Saints automatically had a division. The Saints locked in. They're going to win the rest of their games, et cetera, by NFL analysis, former players and things like that. Why do you think you hear me every week say, I'm going to take one game at a time? That is exactly why I don't open my mouth and take things for granted and take the next day and the next game off like nothing can happen. The Saints are going to probably be without their quarterback for some time. And if it's ribs, it's usually about 4 weeks. And that'll be about the end of the season if the Saints can't pull together those last 4 weeks. That'll hurt their playoff chances and pretty much seal the deal for their season if they can't muster up them 4 wins. Sean Payton is going to really have to put that team together. But before we get into the Saints talk and all that Jameis Winston stuff, because, it's a lot of people still sour about Winston leaving, I was sad to see him go. I just want to see, continuity at the quarterback position here in Tampa Bay, something they never had for so long. That's why. So, Christopher Cole, let's go Bucks, rack them up. Christopher Cole, I wonder who's going to be the starter for the Saints now. It's going to be just like what you saw Sunday night. It's going to be a rotation. Winston might strive in Saints offense with an offensive line. Yeah, you're going to finally get to see what that looks like. Christopher Cole, Saints almost lost to the Lonely Niners. There's a lot of teams almost lost to. I mean, a lot of teams in that they, on paper, you don't think they should have lost to, and it's just that's the way football is. Weather conditions and all that stuff. Like the Ravens got manhandled by the Patriots last night. I called that before, even without the rain. Lamar Jackson struggles to throw the ball again. Tim, I refused to watch any live podcasts last week and didn't want to hear anything about it. I don't blame you. But with wins, you got to take the losses, Tim. You got to take the losses. I can't run and hide. I said when it's a beating or I'm wrong about something, I got to face you guys because I give you guys crap, and I got to take it too. It's only fair. It's only fair. That's just how it goes, but you can't hide. And the Buccaneers been losing long enough that you shouldn't have to hide. And that beating wasn't as bad as the Atlanta Falcons game at home, the 56 or 51-0 at one point. I think the year the Falcons blew the Super Bowl lead. I mean, it's whatever, give or take. Winston didn't look good yesterday when he came in for Breeze. Hey, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they got the win, and that's really all that matters. So we'll see. He's the captain of that ship now. Well, he's one of them. What's your thought against the games against the Rams coming up? I'll give you a thought on that. But, Ethan, I usually do my pregame to the Rams on Friday where I give you my breakdowns and stuff like that when I really actually start going through tape. So I'm going to be going through Rams tape here this week, seeing what they got, what we can do to beat them and what they're weak at and things like that. So that's what we'll be doing. So Ronald Jones has a hell of a day. Tom Brady, too. Why not just add that in there? Tom Brady goes 28 for 39, 341, and 3 touchdowns. And if I'm not mistaken, he had a rushing touchdown as well. Quarterback sneak. The Buccaneers were just firing on all cylinders. Just couldn't be stopped. It didn't look so good. They struggled a little bit to get, out. They're like a car that you got to warm up. And if you're in New York and Philadelphia, you got to warm that car up. Then once all the engine is warm and the car is running, that car takes off like a light. It does its thing. And that's the way the Bucs were. And I know Tom Brady, it should have been a lot more. Tom Brady missed a couple touchdowns, missed one to Rob Gronkowski, missed one to Antonio Brown deep. And that's just communication and trying to get away from pressure and getting that ball up there. But they'll work that out. Fortunate those didn't come back to hurt them later on. But that's good that you're seeing Antonio Brown able to beat these coverages, and he's starting to feel himself first down, celebrating and all that stuff. And that's good. But I can't go without saying Mr. Ronald Jones, 23 carries and 192 yards and 1 touchdown. And the day didn't start good for him. He's not off the hook. He's still turning over the damn ball in critical situations and putting the defense in compromising situations. But you don't have to hook. Yeah, Ethan. I mean, I'll still talk about it a little bit. They could have put up 70 points, Chris. Can you confirm Rams offensive lineman? And I think the safety is going to RR. Yes, he's out. Whitworth is out. And why is nobody talking about how well Brady climbs the pocket? I'm aware he's one of the best ever. Yeah, he is. You don't have to be fast to be elusive. You're absolutely correct, Mr. Do. You don't have to be fast to be elusive in the pocket. And that he is. Just because he's not fleet of foot or quick or whatever, he still makes his way through the pocket. And speaking of Ronald Jones and making his way to the pocket, through the pocket, he gets the damn the breaking point. Ronald Jones, you get this clip real quick.
Ronald Jones will get a big hole. Jones gets by. Ronald Jones may go all the way. Being chased from behind. Does Jones have enough? Still on his feet. Ronald Jones, 98 yards.
Did you notice how Tom Brady's old butt ran all the way down there? I had to look at the mark. I said, Tom Brady ran down there chasing behind Ronald, running down there with his old self. So you guys are just tuning in. This is Sports Talk 49 live on Bucks Report Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. That is powered by 320 Solar. Go to 320solar.com and put the power back into your pocket. So let's talk about Ronald Jones and that big day real quick. I wouldn't be myself if I didn't do things myself likes to do. And we'll talk about that big run by Ronald Jones. Let's talk about that. Let me roll that beautiful beam footage for you guys. So quiet. But let's go into the part I really want to see. There we go. Let's look at the blocking combination. You're definitely seeing a difference in the blocking scheme between A.Q. Shipley and Ryan Jensen. Ryan Jensen at the guard. I guess he enjoys not having to be the one to snap the ball and then block. I mean, it was perfect execution. Donovan Smith actually gets his, he still kind of doesn't with his feet, but he gets the defensive lineman turn. Jensen's doesn't have a guy over top and is able to get to the next level. That's the part I like the most that Ronald Jones did. He kicked the legs up so Trey Boston, the safety, couldn't get a good angle to wrap his legs up and tackle him, which the running backs have had problems in space getting away from defenders in one-on-one situation. We'll just take another look at it. It's just perfect execution. Ronald Jones slips through the arm tackles, and this is the best one. See the slight hop step so you can't grab his legs. That part right there is the best part of all of that. It was the last guy to beat. And once you beat that last guy, you see what happens. He's off to the races. Let me stop this. There we go. It's the last guy. And they finally get it. He finally got to see Ronald Jones in space and look just like he did at USC when he was a USC Trojan. That is what all the fans have been waiting to see. I know Michael Clayton wasn't a big fan of him, and a lot of people weren't a big fan of him. He still has issues catching the passes to a guy who's made a living off of throwing backs to the passes. I mean, to the running backs, who's made a living off of doing that for 20 years, and he can't throw the ball to his running back. But when you do things like that, you make people forget about the ability you can't catch till the next week. That's really an issue that the Buccaneers have to figure out. There is no way that the Bucs can't throw to your running back with the guy who's made a living off of throwing to the running back. That is an area that has to be addressed and has to be addressed quickly. Sadly, we're past the halfway point in the season. The Bucs still can't do that. That's something that has to be fixed. Leonard Fournette looked like a half step slow playing when he got in. I don't know what's going on with him. He just does not look like he has any type of burst since that first game against the Panthers last time and sealed the game. I mean, yeah, it was the first game and sealed against the Panthers. He really doesn't look like he has that step. Let me go to the 49ers comment out here. And Milo Jackson or Milo, that was an O-line blocking Clinton on that play. Oh, yeah, it was perfect execution. Even Donovan Smith finally moved his feet just a little bit. I mean, it looked bad from just that view about him moving his feet, but he got the guy turned just enough where it didn't matter. Misador Jensen put some dog on that left side. Think it gave Smith some confidence. Look at the block Smith has on that big run, freeing up Jensen to get to the second level. Yeah, because you saw Jensen look to see if he had to seal off the end before he had to move to the next level. He was able to move to the next level and seal the block. You see, these are the things that Misador, myself, guys that analyze football, that is what happens when linemen are able to get to the next level. And when I say next level, I mean linebackers, not just staying at your defensive front. When you're able to get to the next level and you start blocking the linebackers and the back is only left with the safeties, you get big runs like that. The Bucs have never been able to get big runs like that because they don't ever get to the next level. They're constantly stuck at the line of scrimmage, and the linebackers run free and make tackles on the backs. Tim, was Ronald Jones long run the same play call as Fournette long run against the Panthers in the first game they played? I think he came off the. It's possible he might have came out the B gap. I can't remember exactly, Tim. Needless to say, they both were great. Play executions, and Ronald Jones will forever be down in history books now with one of the longest run in NFL history and Tampa Bay history, as long as that stands. Even if he's gone from this team, that record will hold. It looks like Smith almost held too long and almost got a holding claw. Misador, shelf blocking. Yep, that's what it is. Shelf blocking. What he means by that is next level. That's what he means. He's just using the football terminology, but that's what he means. Shelf blocking with Misador saying that's how you spring big runs. That is a clinic example of what happens when you're able to get to the next level and block those linebackers and let your backs be in one-on-one with DBs. You're allowed the privilege to get that. And also, phone lines are open, 727-475-1882. You guys can call in. We can talk about the Bucs game. Later on, we'll be talking about around the NFL, and we'll still be talking Bucs. That's fine as well. It's not an issue, but it was just good to see that they came out after putting in embarrassment. The last prime time against the Saints at home in that kind of fashion. It was just like one of the guys said, one of the 49ers said in the comment section, it was embarrassing to talk about. He didn't want to talk about it, but yeah, I mean, you kind of got to, especially a guy, me doing media and things like that. I can't run from it. You gotta take it on too. Like I said, you got to take the good with the bad. That's things Peter gets upset about too, is even when there's wins, nobody likes to call a show and put that same energy in a win when there is a loss. It seems like when there's a loss, there's more interaction. Call you live on Sports Talk 49.
What's going on? It's Will, man. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Will? How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing glorious after that amazing win that we had yesterday. Woo!
Yes, it was.
That was so good to see. Rojo getting that 98-yard stuff. If anybody remembers from, I want to say it was 2012 or 2010. It was who was it? It was a Titans game. There was an announcer that said, "Look out! He's got get away from the
cop speed." Yep,
that's what Rojo had yesterday. He had get away from the cop speed.
And it's funny. That was Chris Johnson that used to do those runs, and he used to say that. It was Chris Johnson. Mm-hmm.
Man, you know what play I'm talking about, so at least we're on the same page. But man, whew.
Wait, what's your biggest take from the game? What do you think about it?
I gotta say, and everybody knows this on Bucs Report, I was not the big guy that was excited about Brady coming into Tampa Bay. I wasn't.
Nope, you voiced that.
About it.
Yeah.
But he's bringing a dynamic into Tampa that it seems to me like we'll be so close at halftime, like games like we had on Sunday. We were all tied up, and he in the locker room he'd just be like, "Come on now, we're tied up. We can beat these guys. Come on now." And he gets everybody all riled up in the locker room, and then we come out and we're like, "Oh, dang." Because there was a stat that was when I was watching the game. They said the third quarter has been owned by Tampa Bay throughout most of their games. It's like, what is Tom Brady saying in the locker room that we own the third quarter?
It's possibly just trying to hold people accountable. That's pretty much what it is.
He was holding everybody accountable. and I was really worried for this game for the simple fact of going into the game without Marpet. I was worried without having Marpet because Marpet, those are big shoes to fill. That's a big boy that can push around some pretty big guys. And with him being gone, I was like, I don't know what's going to happen because those are some big shoes to fill. And our O-line stepped up, and the backup stepped up, and we got it done. So, and CD3. I was worried that he wasn't going to be there. He wasn't playing the whole game. I know that much. But he was taking some, sideline breathers, because he's still a little hurt, a little banged up. But, man, the game was very impressive. But, I got to ask, do you think that we just seriously own the third quarter this season? Or, I got to ask, what's up with all the Bucs fans? Do we own the third quarter this year or what?
It's a huge difference from having Dirk Cutter all them years where he made no actual halftime adjustments and things like that. So it's something definitely different to have that and have that aspect to have a quarterback in there that that's not going to have the propensity to turn the ball over in clutch situation. He's going to take the sack if he's not there. He's going to try to make the right throw. Like I said earlier, he was off on a couple of throws. There's just a little miscommunication on some of them because the score could have been a lot worse than it really was. Fortunate for the Panthers, those passes weren't caught. But I know fans are really looking forward to seeing Antonio Brown score, which he had a chance to, where he had the DB smoked. But owning the third quarter, but yeah, they've definitely owned that. And I think that started with the Chargers game, if I believe, where that fumble right before half and the Bucs go in the score. And they just went on an offensive onslaught from that second half on. I think it was at that point where they started to become that third quarter team. So I definitely can agree with you on that, Will.
I gotta say though, my wife, you all know my wife. She's a Packer fan.
Sorry to hear that.
But yes, I apologize for everybody that has to deal with that. But when we stomped on the Packers, she said, "Wow. It looks like you guys really do have a team." And yesterday, when she was making, we were on Sports Static, and he said, "What are 4 teams that you guys think have a chance to go to the Super Bowl?" And she said the Buccaneers is one of them. I was like, wow, you wouldn't have said that last year. Yep. She would have never, it didn't matter how, we could have been 10-2. And she would not have said it last year. I guarantee you she wouldn't have. But this year, because of the beating we gave her team, she's like, wow, yeah, you guys got a real team.
Yep. You definitely see the changes from last year to this year. You definitely notice it.
Oh, definitely. And I expect Antoine Winfield Jr. to get Defensive Rookie of the Year. If he doesn't, there's something wrong.
I honestly don't care. I care about them winning games. I don't care about individual stats. Oh, yeah. I don't care about individual. That doesn't win you games. Individual stats.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I honestly see it going 12-4, 13-3. We could win out. We could win everything out. We could. I hope and pray we do. But you always got that one team that wants to be spoiler maker. You never know. We could go 12-4, 13-3. I don't see us losing, but maybe 1 or 2 games.
And who do you got? Who you got them losing to besides the Chiefs?
Oh, I don't think we'll lose to the Chiefs.
Okay, you think it's going to be somebody else?
I think it's going to be like the Falcons coming in and wanting to play spoiler, or a team like the Lions or the Vikings that just want to play spoiler and do the upset. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's those teams that are at the bottom of the barrel that you're going to take lightly and just walk in and expecting to win, that they're going to be like, oh, you were going to take us for granted? Well, guess what? You can't take any team lightly. You got to go in with the best game plan for every team. You can't just go in expecting to win.
Nope, you're absolutely right. And I think the Buccaneers learned that early I ain't gonna say early, a couple weeks ago, and they never took it for granted because they admitted it after that game. They took it kind of like they were thinking about next week. And if you don't know what I'm talking about the Giants game. I said where they came out and the Giants should have put a beating on them. They missed a couple touchdowns. The guys played really bad in that game, thinking they were going to get stat chase in that game. They were going to expect Daniel Jones to throw them a couple picks and things like that, and it easily could have went the other way pretty bad. So they were fortunate they got away with that one. But I agree with you that they don't that they shouldn't take anybody for granted.
Tim made an excellent comment about.
Yeah, I see their comments. I was going to get to it right after you. Ryan Suckup has been Mr. You guys know how I am. I don't like comparing people to old people. I like people to build their own brand because they're their own people. Grammatica had his time here, played excellent. He's homegrown from the Tampa area and still lives in this area. So thank you for his service. But Suckup has came in here and has been everything as advertised. Thank you for the Tennessee Titans who struggle in the kicking department with Gostkowski for letting Suckup leave after an injury that he had and coming back and performing just like he has always done for the Tennessee Titans for many years prior to coming to Tampa.
Yeah, everyone thinks the Chiefs are going to be our toughest game, but you know what? I don't think we'll have a problem with the Chiefs. And people look at me cockeyed when I say that. I'm like, I honestly do not see us struggling with the Chiefs. If the Chiefs come out and beat us, dude, everyone can put me on blast for that, but I do not see us struggling with the Chiefs. Look how we handled the Packers. You know what I mean?
Mahomes is a little bit more nimble than Rodgers per se. Yeah. And we don't really have speed on the edges. That's the only thing that scares me with that. We have nobody that's going to actually catch Mahomes rolling out the pocket besides Devin White, and he's going to be asked to be covering that game because he's going to have to with the time Mahomes buys in the pocket.
I expect in that game we're going to be probably running a 4-2, and you're going to be seeing, Mike Edwards getting a lot of play time. You're going to be seeing SMB, CD3 coming out there. We're going to be, blitzing the corners because we don't have the guys that can come, or an 4-2. We're going to be running a 3-3. You know what I mean? I said a 4-2.
You mean a 3-3-5?
Yeah, a 3-3-5. That's what I meant to say. I apologize.
It's all right.
But yeah, with blitzing corners, because our corners are fast.
I hope so. They got to cover wideouts.
Well, and Misador just said Davis and Dean struggle with fast, deep receivers. Yep. They do.
You can't play that aggressive style because you're going to get burnt. And Dean still has.
But CD3 last year, he shut down Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas isn't a burner. He's a possession receiver.
But I'm just saying, he shut him down.
Right. No, I agree. He shut down Thomas. Last year, he shut down Hopkins. He shut down Julio Jones all at the end of the year. It was like back-to-back guys that he had shut down at that time. But you're playing up against that kind of speed, Mecole Hardman and I'm about to say Dante Hall. Jesus, more Lord of mercy. Dante Hall ain't played for the Chiefs in a long time.
Yeah, Samuel Watkins is still hurt. And then you got Mecole Hardman, and what's the other guy's name? I forgot.
His name just slipped. Tyreek Hill. Yeah, I say Hall Hill. Yeah. With that kind of speed, it's going to be tough to play that aggressive corner because one mad move, they're right by you, and Mahomes got the arm to get it there. So I ain't going to talk about the Chiefs yet. The next opponent is the Rams, and we'll focus on that, later in the week when I actually start to look at this tape. I appreciate you.
I'm not worried about the Rams either. I am not worried about the Rams.
I'm worried about everybody that lines up on Sunday because you don't know what will happen, what happens week. Somebody could go down and practice. You just saw the Saints lose Drew Brees, so nobody's above anything that could happen. Like, I swear, just last week, everybody was praising the Saints like nothing was going to happen to them, and they lose the damn quarterback less than 24 hours later. They done lost their quarterback. after all that. So that
which begs the differ. Are they actually going to start Taysom Hill?
It's going to be dual. It's going to be dual quarterback. It's going to be dual quarterback. They've been doing it. It's not like it's a change for them. It's going to be a dual quarterback system.
As far as the Saints go, I don't think Taysom Hill can be like a starting quarterback. He's more like a Cordell Stewart. I think I've said this on your show before.
Yeah, and it's fine. They have the play. They're set up to run both of those quarterbacks. Sean Payton is more prepared than Byron Leftwich. That's been clear from the last 2 times the Bucs have played the Saints. They know what they're doing with their players, and they use them how they're supposed to use them. And both of those quarterbacks will be just fine in their system. But I know a lot of people here at Tampa Bay will be rooting for Jameis Winston, and that'll be a fun debate looking at that on Facebook for a while all that runs. But
I'm going to be pulling for Winston because I love Winston. But if he plays Tampa Bay, I'll be like, I'm sorry, Winston. I love you. You're one of my all-time favorites, but I got to go with Tampa. You know, just like when my grandparents took me down to Tampa and I went to a Saints game, I was going to watch Drew Brees play because I like Drew Brees. I think he's a phenomenal player. But I was going simply to watch him play as a fan, watching the guy play. But I'm rooting for my Bucs. You know what I mean? I'm always going to root for my Bucs.
No doubt.
It doesn't matter who's on the other side. You know, just saying, just putting it out there. I don't care if my best friend is playing for the Bears, and I'm like, dude, you're playing the Buccaneers. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm still rooting for the Bucs.
No doubt. So thanks for calling in, Will. I got Deshaun down here in the lobby. I'm going to get him on and see what he's got to take on the game.
All right, man.
Appreciate it, Will.
Care, buddy.
You too. I got Deshaun down here. He's always bringing that knowledge. Let me get to these comments real quick, Deshaun. I don't want to neglect these guys. And I saw you, Chris, talk about you don't want to be called 49ers. You want to call Blake's Bunch. I don't want to call you guys that. You guys sounds like I'm calling you my kids or something. And some of y'all older than me. And what do I look like calling you that? You know, I ain't exactly a spring chicken either. But let me see. I'm trying to make sure I lost my place. Fournette was behind Wirfs. Oh, yeah, you saw the blocking. I pulled up the Panthers Bucks. I don't know if you saw that, Deshaun, for the same run Fournette had. If not, I can pull it up again. Man, I'd rather be called Blaze Bunch. Oh, that was Misador that said that. OJ used to have getting away from the cop speed. Yeah, he only does that when he's wide open. I've never seen OJ actually outrun anybody in a foot race. He's got to already be wide open and then just running straight down the field. I've never seen him actually pull away from somebody like Fournette or Ronald Jones as done on a pro level. I see I was wrong. The Fournette run was a counter step away from Wirfs. Speaking of sacks, yes, Justin Watson had a sack on a punt. Great preparation. That's preparation and from your special teams right there. Mm-hmm. And speaking of preparation,
I'm about to get sure.
We got Deshaun Tisdale there. And what you got for us, brother?
Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing today?
Yeah, good, man. How you doing? It's Victory Monday.
Victory Monday, you know, we're going to accept it and take it. Saw a lot of good things out of the game. Of course, Brady's always pretty good with spreading the ball around. I think he was a little bit more key and tight in these situations, which I was happy to see. You know, I don't wish any negativity or anything like that on these guys. I know they're players. They got families to feed and things like that. So we were just talking about, you know, quarterbacks, you know, he's not going to Foot Locker job, you know, like.
Oh, yeah. Remember we were talking about that? You talking about Foot Locker jobs and you come drop a bomb game. Like, man, great point you brought. I forgot all about that. Yeah. When I was talking about what are you thinking about a couple days away from the game and you're doing an interview like this? Where's your mind at? Where's your mind at?
We're not taking it. Listen, we're not taking it seriously enough. And this is the time of the year, you know, I think callers are right and people, you know, talking about Tampa are right. But, you know, when you're a Tampa fan at this point, you have to be just like how you say, hey, I don't want to liken anyone to anybody else. You know, I don't want to make the Warren Sapps and he's just like Sapp or he's not like Sapp or he's just like he's not like. Let them build their own brand. Everybody's their own. They got a name on their back, just like those guys had names on their back. And some of them were better. You know, listen, Hardy Nickerson came from somewhere to get here. You know, and other players are the same thing. So let's not look at some of these players and say, hey, how great or how not great they are when they're clearly, players that are going to help. Now, all that to be said, I'm looking at the same way that we have been as Bucs fans. I don't think that we have to have the same thing, because Tom Brady is clearly ushering in a new thought pattern and a new feeling for this Tampa Bay area and just the team and the whole, when I say the area, of course, I mean anywhere that Tampa Bay fans are touching down. I just think that he's bringing that new feeling. I didn't feel as horrible as I normally would on the loss. Even though it was a horrible loss, I still felt like, well, guess what? If I felt like that was all we had, that would be different. But you clearly knew we just didn't play well. Well, guess what? If you play on any sport, I don't care if it's a one-man. So if you're at golf, tennis, whatever, you're going to have games where you don't play well. You know what? And we had several people not playing well at the same time. We'll take that. But this week, oh, man, attention to, I think Rojo almost had about 20. What did he have? How many carries did he have? He had
a decent amount of carries. He actually had real 20 running back carries.
Running back for the first time. So he wasn't I know he loves to say victim of Valium. He wasn't a victim of Valium in this game, because he had like 20 carries. Yeah, 23 carries.
Yeah, listen, big boy carries.
That is, you're our running back number carries, because I was like, are they trying to get him? At first, when I saw him still in there in the fourth, I was like, wait, are they trying to get him to 200? Because that's what I was thinking. And what did he finish at? 192, 193?
Yep, 192, 8 yards short.
Yeah, so I was like, I thought they were pushing to get to that mark.
Probably.
And there was a point also in that game where I was like, okay, they look like they're pushing to get. Clearly, Mike Evans, you know what? I'm not going to hold this back. I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about not holding it back, but I think everyone could see it in the game. And I saw it in the game. I saw Mike Evans dip, and there's important parts. I respect that these guys are, once again, they're competitors, they're players, they have families, they have lives. They're not, every play, they're not truly all the time going to give you that, especially for a receiver. He's not always going to run in there and do that. Now, I've seen him over time, fall down a lot and do things where I'm like, oh, come on, Mike. This game, he looked like he was pressing, trying to get a little bit more. But now, it's not something that he normally does, where Mike Evans really gets all that yak for you. If he gets yak, it's because jump ball, corner drops, and he's getting the yak to the house. Correct. There was on that there was nobody on that one where he did the little cartwheel and the defender. He had like the stumble step or whatever. I'm like, dude, Mike, that you take that to the house right there. Now that's the difference between Mike Evans and other receivers on our roster. He's the only one that does what he does. Other receivers on our roster are somewhat interchangeable. I thought Mike blocked better than he usually does yesterday. He's very handsy on his block, so he holds a lot. That helped our running game tremendously. Chris Godwin is always the consummate professional on run blocking receiver. He's a go-to Swiss Army knife of a guy, and you can never get mad when he gets his due. But receiving core yesterday, I saw hands, man. I mean, Mike Evans, that one in the end zone, dude, he was three. I'm like, I was like, Tom, how high are you throwing these balls? Like, dude, he was like 3.5 feet off the floor.
I'm like, how tall do you think these defenders are? There's nobody that tall back there, Tom. There's nobody that tall back there. I'm like, who do you think you're playing? Ed Reed ain't back there.
Who's back there jumping? I'm like, he must think he got some 6'3", 6'4" safeties back there with long arms that are jumping. And I'll tell you the next part about it too. I was like, no one can say right now. I mean, we're at least a year or two away talking about Tom Brady. When we talk, you see the overthrows that he had yesterday. I mean, this is after getting hit a couple of times. I mean, I know there's some continuity that's not there, but that run game yesterday really set up our play action. Our play action looks were so clean and open. I mean, he missed like 3 deep on those play action. 3 big that were guaranteed touches.
Touchdown.
At least 3, and it might have been 4. But I mean, and there's some time. I mean, the one to Godwin was just. I mean, that was just. It was. I was like, dude, no way you throw that ball. The corner is like cutting inside towards the sideline. He's got no way for Godwin to come down, and then Godwin just. He has to have the that's I believe in you, and that was it was nothing short of help me help you. Right. he makes the cut reaches back inside of the defender. The defender's already undercutting that route perfectly. Perfectly.
You heard the announcer say if he turns his head, he picks it off. He never saw the ball.
And you have to have some confidence and he's got a pair to throw that ball over there for that coverage.
Oh, yes.
Right past his head, I am not scared of what I'm going to get here. And he put it out there. I thought he had a really good game. I think he could have had a lot more yardage, obviously, those 3 touchdowns. But when the offense puts up 500 yards, it's always a good day in Tampa, and I think BA said it. When we run over 100 yards, we run for over 100 yards. It's also a good day in Tampa, and we win. So I'm not mad that Fournette didn't get a lot of carries, although I feel Fournette's a little bit more of a bell cow. But I think, unfortunately for Ronald Jones, he's at this point, he needs somebody looking over his shoulder. He needs I will pull you. Now, did I think he was going to get pulled? I did. I did think he was going to get pulled after that fumble. BA normally is not as forgiving for a fumble. But it seems now, if you heard it in the game, the announcer kind of touched on it, and I think he got that from the pregame conversation with them about like how the guys are kind of going by half. I've noticed them go quarter if they get tired, but if they're in for the entire drive. So you got to understand that, hey, if they're going to be in, they're going to be in for the whole drive. Hey, I really wanted to know, what did you think, Blake, about the defense and where that defense was? Are we going to some offense?
I was going to play some just as we're talking. The defense I thought played exceptionally well this game. They got blessed that Christian McCaffrey didn't have to play in this game. The Panthers did do something I did not expect. They did go to not Curtis Samuel, but the other receiver's name slipping my mind right now. They went to him a lot on Sunday, which I did not expect them to do because Curtis Samuel has been basically
Davis.
Dave, yeah, his production has gone up since Christian McCaffrey returned, and he's been basically the other running, receiving back type player since McCaffrey came back, and now McCaffrey's out injured again. So now their offense is going to change. Going to have to change the complexity of it a little bit, but their defense did play really well. I know the linebackers took some beating on first take from Stephen A. Smith, saying on 14 attempts, they had, pass catchers had 13 receptions on them last week. So I know Devin White and Levante David probably took exception to that and tried to play well. They didn't. I didn't see them get beat too much inside the hash marks on any
I don't think
passes
they were
like
attacked as much.
Correct.
So
yeah.
Getting beat and getting attacked as much is two different things. I think in the next 2 games we'll see, because it's one of those things where an offense they're doing what they do to win games. They attack a certain way. I don't think that their attack really was. They're kind of swing out the backfield. Right. A lot of Texas routes as far as those outcuts and then back up into the interior front where the linebackers would be. They rub a little bit more. They have a Green Bay-esque semblance offense and then, heavy run. So I don't think they attack more. I think in the next 2 weeks we'll get that attack will be a lot more. But for this game, it just wasn't there,
The only thing I saw earlier was the one thing we've talked about several times, and I think I've made my point clear on that already, so I didn't really touch on it today, was Jamil Dean still having issues looking in the backfield, got beat early, was out. He knew he was out of position, left Antoine Winfield compromised, and Antoine Winfield still almost made the play on the ball in the end zone, still almost made it, but that was not his responsibility. It was Jamil Dean's. And then the screen pass. I was actually going to pull it up here, the screen pass, where teams are taking advantage of the Buccaneers' over-aggressive defense, where the whole defense went with the jet sweep, and you left the wide receiver all alone on the other side. It was basically 3 linemen versus 1 corner, and poor Cockrell just got steamrolled for a while.
He got steamrolled. He was supposed to.
God bless him.
I saw the helmet drop. When a lineman sees that out there, you're cooked, man. You're food. He's coming for you. That's just, that's part of the game, Now, the second time they went to go run that our defense was awake for it.
Correct.
You know, we had linebacker, we had safety over. We read it and we ate on it. But you know, that's one of the things when you have one of these speed defenses, you always get people either trying to do a couple of things to take out speed defenses. They need to nullify you by running right at you to take away your speed, which is what, you know, they did with Taysom Hill, you know, just basically ran power against us. And when you have defensive linemen that don't get off blocks quick because they're more filled than penetrate, they're just, you know, there to fill. Smaller linebackers, I mean, come on, you're already at the second level before you're even attempting to touch them. So that's just one of the caveats of our defense. You know, I did like that Todd Bowles he didn't dial up as much pressure. He's been very cavalier over the last 2 games with pressure. And I kind of feel like when you talk about pressure, BA said, oh yeah, we blitzed, we just didn't get there. I'm like, well, if we didn't get there, keep sending it. You know, like,
you're right.
Send the pressure. There we go. Watching flow.
There is nobody there.
Now, no one. I mean, everyone.
Poor
there he goes. Roll.
Good Lord of mercy.
God bless. And we're lucky too. I mean, I was surprised with JPP. Is that the first interception that he's had in his career? Does he have another interception?
I can't remember. I'm sure he probably has one sometime, maybe with the Giants, but that was an impressive INT after everybody was making fun of him last week. Talking about, well, he would have caught that pick. He said, all right, I got something for y'all.
I don't know if you heard the show, but you remember I said it. I said my wife got on me about me saying, well, if you had all those fingers, you'd be able to. And she's sitting right there. He catches the pick, and she just looked over at me. Like
he heard you.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. He really
heard you talking smack.
And you know what? I mean, throughout all season, because when we drop all those D linemen back in coverage, you know, that's really just more of a sit in this zone and force the quarterback to try to figure out which defender is who and not throw next to. But that time I was like, oh, he made this catch. And you know what? I'm happy for it. I'm just waiting to see it. You know, I saw Will Mann just posted Winston's going to be starting on Sunday.
And I still expect Taysom Hill. I still expect dual quarterbacks, but
I expect a heavy dose of Taysom Hill. Yeah, a heavy dose of Taysom.
But if you want to label the starter, sure.
Well, listen, that's like in our defense. You know, who's the starter? We're saying nickel. You know, 90% of the time. So we worried about our 3-4 starters, and we're going to be a nickel all the time.
Right.
Yeah, listen, you know what? Our games are done with Jameis, you know, all for him. Good luck. You know, great to see what he's doing. But if he does good over there, you know, great. We'll check him out when playoffs come. But as far as for me, it's a Bucs life. So
correct.
You know, he's over there in their land. No problem. That ship sailed for us. We're on our next bounty. Let's go ahead and get these Rams.
Yep, get these Rams Monday night and hopefully play a lot better on primetime television than they did against the Saints. Good Lord.
Listen, all year right now we have not shown up on primetime games. I mean, I was a little bit like, oh, they took a primetime for us and switched us to 4 o'clock. Like, you know, they would never do this if it was the Pats or whatever. But right now, to be honest with you, we don't show up at primetime. So if it comes to, do I want to play at primetime or not? You know what? Screw primetime. I want to win. You know, I don't want to be at prime. But you know what? That's just us. And I think BA said it. That's preparation. And I think with the 20-some odd coaches that we have enough coaches to have the proper preparation. We should not have that. I think the game plan this week offensively was a better game plan. And you know what? I mean, we're late in the season to be reevaluating an offensive game plan. We should know who we are. We should know what our targets are, what our keys are to hit. He should already have those gold plays. He should have those gold plays already. He should know the go-tos. You know, I'm watching the mesh of Brady and what, you know, we're not talking about it, but I'm sure we'll find out towards the end of the season or after it's all over of which plays are Brady calling and which plays are being called by the OC, you know, and that's where we don't really know right now, but we just need a better understanding of our personnel. I saw Brady. I felt like Brady was trying to get the ball to Brown a little bit, you know, get the ball to AV a little bit last week. This week was definitely more of a balance. And listen, those couple of times he does get Mike Evans the ball, 2 drops, I think, by Mike.
Right.
I mean, that one where he was on the floor diving back, dude, it touched your hands. We say it to the high schoolers, the rec kids, and the college
you
kids.
already know the
Touch your
line.
hands. Gotta catch it, bro. That's it. So I think he redeemed himself in the end. I mean, that's two. I think one for the touch and then the other one for the first down. So, Brady, at this point, Brady did his job this week exceptionally. He spread the ball around. And I think I was watching on the deck on the pregame show. I think wasn't Johnny. It was Sunday morning with.
You talking about Phil or Ray?
No, Cup of Ray. Yep, Ray.
Yep.
Because I can only think of everybody by their show.
Yeah.
So I had to be like Sunday morning with Cup of Ray.
Yeah.
So Ray was saying, look, if he gets like 69 or 78 yards, he'll still get his 1,000 yards for the season, which was like, what? So I'm like, dude, if he starts getting close to 100-yard games, just because Brady just spreads the ball to him a little bit more, because I think Gronk lost a step. Some of those passes
it's clear.
Clearly lost a full step, not a half, but a full step.
But it's fine. He does great run blocking. That's fine.
He can, and he's still so big that you'll see what happened yesterday if you come to him slipping. You got to come bringing everything to him.
I knew he loved every minute of that. Just the guys flying off of him, and he just chucking them, got them legs high. I'm like, look at him high knees.
When he got and he throws the alley to Unclear, and Unclear catches it. Horrible spike, but he doesn't spike the ball often. So
I think he says his arm hurts. That's why he doesn't spike it.
Oh, so he chucked it up.
Yeah.
And I was looking at Unclear spiking, and I was like, okay, he needs a redo on that one.
Yeah, that's why he's not spiking. His arm hurts, so he's not trying to do something stupid and hurt his arm. I don't blame him. It is rather.
Listen, hey, I had a question. Are you gonna? Is Allison on here today, or is that just on Friday?
No, Allison is here. She is on vacation. She's at Madeira Beach. She hit me up and said she's not gonna make it, so that's why I didn't have Allison on today.
I just wanted to know what she was going to be saying about these Steelers, because I'm watching them week after week, and they are definitely a surprising. They're not mashing anybody out, in my opinion, for the most part. From just watching them, they're actually in battles, but they keep winning. It's like somebody's got a rabbit foot over there or something. I mean, these are how stories are built. So it's either they win all these games and they lose later, or they start losing games and just fall out of. But right now they're winning. So, I'm not a Debbie Downer. I'm happy to see, them do well, and, until they face us, so I would actually much rather face a Steeler team than some of the other teams that are going to come out of the AFC.
Correct. The Steelers teams are built like Tampa Bay is, instead of like playing the Chiefs where it's all speed. But that's what Andy Reid has always been about. He's been all about speed since he was in Philadelphia. He's always been about that. Big guys up front, little fast guys on the edges. It's always been that way.
He's a speed kills guy. He's a speed kills. He wants speed all around. I'm sure their practices are fast. Like, that's just how much speed he's all about. And he's going to have depth, and his depth is going to have speed. He doesn't pick anything. He's not going to – there's never a drop-off. The one characteristic, like you said, it's always going to be speed. There was always people behind Deshaun Jackson that were fast, that could come up and also do – what he did, case in point. Like, he's a speed guy, and they just keep. It seems like the rich get richer over there because they keep acquiring weapons. So, I think quarterback play has been great over there. I would love to see the matchup. I'm just waiting to see where the matchup's going to be. I think one of the big games this week is that Tennessee game versus. I think they're both 2 6-3 teams are playing this week. It's Tennessee playing someone. That's the other game aside from us that I'm looking to see. Forget who they're playing, but I just have us this week. I'm gonna do some research and kind of break down this Rams team, see just how they match up with things that we do. And I'll be back with you guys on Friday. Of course, I'm gonna be on other shows throughout the week, and all the Bucs fans are. I'm gonna be in there talking with everybody else that's our fans. And hey, I'm with Misador. I rock with the 49er name, but I'm like, listen, if we could be something else, not the 49ers.
All right, I'll come up with something.
I'm gonna say it. I figure I'm on here. I'll say it for everybody else. Like, we're with you. Just we can be like they said. Look, I'd rather be Blake's bunch than be a 49er. Because when you say, hey, the 49ers, I'm like, wait, the 49ers?
What?
Look, I'm all for it, man. Hey, it was great checking in with you guys today. I'm gonna be in the chat group, and I gotta get back to what I'm doing. But hey, you know what it is. Fire those cannons. Go Bucks.
Hey, tell them what's better than 6-3, 7-3.
7-3. You know it, baby.
And what else? Yeah, don't be hesitant to tell me what you come up with the Ram stuff. I'm gonna start looking at that the next couple of days here because I got a couple of days for Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll start looking at that, try to poke holes in what they got going on. So yeah, if you get free time, send me what you got. I'll try to compare.
For sure.
Compare
I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up. We got you on everything. I know you leave it, but I got you on Facebook, got you on Twitter, and anybody else. Hey, Blake responds. So if you want to go ahead and follow him on Twitter, follow him on Facebook. He responds. He communicates with you. That's it. It's a great family here at Bucks Report. So I'm gonna continue to listen in, and you guys have a great one. Okay.
You too, Deshaun. Take it easy.
No problem.
There it is, Deshaun, as always. And we'll go into a quick break. We'll come back, take some phone calls if you want to call. If not, then we'll get out of here. If you guys are just tuning in, it's the Sports Talk 49 live on BucksReport.com every Monday and Friday here at 3 p.m. Monday doing post-game, Friday doing pre-game. I am not going to skip your guys' comments. You guys are killing in there. Let me just go to this break because I got to play the commercials. They paying, so I got to play them. So I'll get to that, and then we'll come to you guys' questions and stuff like that. And don't hesitate to call or post something.
with a slow motion crew, and we up in our growlings when people change.
Welcome back. Sports Talk 49 live on BucksReport.com. I'm Blake Anthony, and this is my show. Monday's post-game edition. Friday, it'll be fun, prime time, talking about the Rams. Misa Dorsey is going to do some work. I'll check it out. You guys know I'm always going to bring it. But as always, make sure you guys check us all out here at Bucks Report, me every Monday and Friday. And make sure to check out all the sponsors. I put all their links and contacts and websites there for you guys to check them out if you guys want to check their business out and things like that. Caller, you're live on Sports Talk 49. Go ahead.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, Johnny Dean, the professor. What's going on?
I don't know if I should be called professor after last night, man. I really made it through it.
Uh-oh, what did you do?
We was talking about, on Rick's show, we was talking about Ron Jones's fumbles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we both thought that He had 4 fumbles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shockingly, he hasn't. He's only had 2 fumbles, man. And I think it's only one of them this season. So I guess the other ones that we were looking at were
last season.
Drop balls and stuff. You know what I mean?
Because he fumbled before. I can't remember what game it was, and ironically, it was a reception. It was a home game. He was running up the left sideline, and he knocked the bone ball out of his hands with his legs, and he fumbled. But it wasn't this season; it was last season. I can't remember the team they were playing that he did that.
Right. Yeah. Well, I owe William Romer an apology. So if he's watching this show, there you go, buddy. I don't, if I make a mistake, I own it.
That's right. Tell him, Johnny. So, so what's your take from that game?
Man. From last night?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a good game. I like how they found a way to get those short passes with Godwin and stuff without having to try to use the running back, because you know he's not going to be able to use Jones for that. Jones is a running back. He's not. He's like a throwback, dude.
It's a shame with a guy with that kind of speed. You are literally no good in the pass catching game unless you can catch it, fumble around with it, then get it, and then start running, which is unlikely when you're covered in man coverage. And like what I said earlier, it boggles my mind. As soon as he fumbled, I was like, he can't throw to the backs what he's made a living off of for 20 years in New England. The only guy that catches the passes clearly, and he catches better than LaShawn McCoy, is Leonard Fournette, and he looks like he lost a step after watching yesterday's game. He did not look like he had the same get off like he was. I don't know.
I'm glad you said something about Fournette, because I'm going to use Peter's phrase on that one, buddy. Victim of volume. You know how running backs are. They have to get ahead of steam going, man. By the end of the games when they're really dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That fourth quarter kills you.
Yep. I mean, Walter Payton, Barry Allen, Emmitt Smith, they all owned fourth quarters, man. They did.
And I think you brought up a great point when you mentioned PlayCon, as I've been doing all day, showing clips from the game off of NFL Game Pass. And I think Byron Leftwich may have heard me talking about him, because I made a little special clip about him and his PlayCon. So Byron, if you are secretly watching these, I'm giving you props that you actually listened and made adjustments to your play calling. And if you don't know what I mean I said if you're having trouble finding ways for guys to get open, then do I ain't gonna say 90, about 70% of the good teams do is create natural rub routes to find ways for you guys to get open. And I saw he did that with Cameron Brate. I saw him do that with Antonio Brown and Mike Evans. You're finally starting to figure out ways to get these guys open, besides strategically just running them downfield and hoping that the offensive line can hold long enough for these guys to get open. What do you think?
I think Arians had a lot to do with that, because he was talking last week that they got to get to Mike a lot more, and get to the guys that are there. All right, to be honest, we haven't been all that healthy this year.
Correct.
I mean, our core guys, and Brady's been thrown to a lot of new people out there. And as far as Byron goes, I still swear to God that when the three of them are sitting in the quarterback room writing up game plans, and Brady and Arians and Byron Leftwich, I think Byron is intimidated.
You talking about by Brady?
By Arians and Brady. I mean,
okay.
Them two are on pretty much equal footing, and Byron said they were trying to learn and go, okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
But Brady's learning to adapt too. I mean, that's like he's learning to adapt instead of going to Gronk for a security blanket. He's got to start using Evans, and he started doing that a little bit. And I think Evans was surprised to get the ball that much this game.
Oh yeah, when you're not getting
in the game before, Evans didn't catch a ball until the second half, and he led the team in receptions.
Yep, and it's good. It's a good feeling when you know you're not bracketed the whole game like he was against the Saints. That's why everybody kept bringing up, is Brady actually just missing missing Mike Evans? I told Misador I would do that. You saw it. I sent it to you. He was literally bracketed the entire game. But some of these other guys got to show up too, so they'll stop running that coverage, but they just can't do it against the Saints because their front four is so powerful in rushing that the Saints are there. There's no reason for them to ever come out of that defense when they play against the Buccaneers.
No, they don't have. They got. You can go to their third string defensive line and you're going to get pass rush from them.
Yep.
That's a very deep team, offensive line and defensive line. And
I could have sworn me and you.
That brings up Winston. I am dying to see what Winston does, and it's not in a negative way. Because we always said, let's see what Winston
correct.
Can do with
I'm with you.
Defensive line, right?
I'm with you. I'm on the same boat. I want to see what he does. I want to see if it was that. Because I see Brady still deal with some of the same issues Winston was dealing with in regards to offensive line play and can't get the ball where he needs to because you can't trust your guys to hold the blocks long enough. I'm seeing some of those struggles and some of the bonehead mistakes by those guys. Because I see Brady rolling his eyes sometimes and stuff like that when these guys make bonehead mistakes. And you're right. I'm the same way. It's not in a negative way. I just want to see what he does elsewhere with everything to succeed. An actual offensive line, a good one, and a defensive line, and the key part, a running back that can actually produce.
Absolutely, yeah. You got tomorrow, dude. There's no reason not to succeed. What did he say he was? He was a top 5 quarterback? Well, let's see.
Yep, let's see. And you saw in the game when he came in, he threw like five passes to Kamara because he could do that. He could just throw it out to the back now and let the back do the work. You don't feel like you got to force the ball downfield and rely on your line to have to hold, even though the Saints line could do that. But Tampa Bay's offense could not.
Exactly.
What, Rob?
So I wish you luck.
Yep.
I don't wish you luck. Because I don't want them to win no more games.
Robert Rawl says Mike Evans needs to be traded. If you look at the Carolina game, I feel like he's a cancer. You have it.
Mike Evans is not a cancer, dude. I'm telling you, Mike Evans is Rob Gronkowski. If Brady learns how to use Mike Evans the way he's supposed to be used, that's your man right there. Because Brady is not sure about that. The only 50-50 balls Brady's ever thrown up in his life was to Gronkowski. And he had a security blanket there.
Right.
Now he's got to switch gears and start thinking of Mike Evans that way because that's Mike Evans' special power. That's a superpower. He will take them balls away.
Oh, yeah. You throw them high, too? Those are his. It's like grabbing a rebound.
Just not 20 foot.
Yeah. Yeah. And Brady, you saw – and you can still see Brady trying to figure out how to throw those because Brady doesn't throw those. He only throws those to Gronk. He's not used to throwing those to a receiver. Well, you can call Gronk a receiver, but you know, I get what
my point is.
Yep, yeah, but you're making a very solid point. People are like, well, you get the ball to us. I said, Winston would force the damn ball to Evans. If there was 3 guys there and Evans was just that good, he would come down with it. But there were dangerous passes. Brady's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that. You know that when he came here. You know that. So when they come out and you see these guys making comments and all that other stuff about, oh, he's not getting the ball. You got to get to the ball. Stop acting like you don't got no damn common sense. You knew that shit when he came here. You knew that. He wasn't gonna do that when he came here. You said, oh, he's gonna get the ball out quick. He's gonna throw it to the underneath pass. He's gonna do that. Like then 9 weeks later, you want him to throw jump balls. He don't do that. That's not what he does.
He's starting to get there, though. I think they had to sit down, talk with him, and say, look, man, this is what Mike Evans is about. He will make you look good in bad situations.
Oh, yeah.
He will. How many quarterbacks has Mike Evans made look good?
Johnny Manziel. Yep, Johnny Manziel literally just used to throw balls up to him at Texas A&M and made this Johnny Manziel be a first-round draft pick. Go figure. So I can back you up on that one.
Johnny Manziel is the best quarterback of all time. He gets on the field and he's nothing but. He didn't even make it as far as RG3.
Nope. RG3 actually made playoffs. He actually was success in running and passing till he got injured. Then it just fell apart. It was just literally there was no middle ground. It was high is high, and then low is low. But you're absolutely right. And Johnny Manziel didn't have I don't think he really liked football like that. I think he liked being the man. I think he liked being that guy. But I'm going to say a movie quote, with great power comes great responsibility. And he wasn't about that life when it came to great responsibility, being first in, last out.
He was a spoiled little rich boy.
Yep.
He was, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what he was. He didn't have to work hard for anything in his life. And then when he goes to Texas, he's got Mike Evans there, who has had to work hard for everything he's ever gotten.
Mm-hmm. And made you look like a first-round draft pick. Boy, I remember people in Tampa were like, well, they should draft Johnny Manziel. I remember almost Jerry Jones made the stupid mistake of drafting Johnny Manziel, and they both were smart and not falling for the bait.
Exactly. He went to Cleveland instead and said, let's see how good you really are, boy.
Yeah, we saw that. I remember the head coach making a comment about, I'm sure he's been using the tablet as a drink holster. Bro, if you know that, why the hell is he your quarterback? There's no way I would say that openly on any media outlet and then start this joker. No way. I'll run with Garrett Gilbert before I start Johnny Manziel if he's using my damn tablet as a drink holster and he's your starting quarterback. You're out of your damn mind.
Hey, you brought him up. I'm sorry, but how you like our boy, Garrett Gilbert?
I liked him at the Apollos, made it very interesting to watch the game. And I saw a transition in his game from that to the NFL. So I liked what I saw. And I know Allison didn't like it, but I saw what I saw because they were playing the Steelers that game. But I liked what I saw, and he played very, very well, made it interesting. Barring what the injury is with Teddy Bridgewater, you get to see P.J. Walker play as well. So I'm interested to see how that pans out as well.
That's going to be interesting. Compare P.J. and Garrett throughout here now. I don't know how long is PJ going to be starting? Have you heard of what?
I haven't heard anything yet. After I'm done here, I'll probably take a look at it and then look at the Drew Brees stuff and see what's going on in our division. And I'll start peeking at the Falcons too, because the Bucs got to play them twice while I got to still do stuff for the Rams game. So I got a lot of looking around to do these next couple of weeks here. But it's going to be interesting, especially with these quarterbacks coming in, and Panthers are already going to be without freaking Christian McCaffrey again, which me and you said this before. He's not that guy, man. He can't take that kind of pounding. His body's not built for that, and you're clearly seeing that you paying him, making him the highest back in the league. He's not as durable as most backs are.
No, he's healthy because he works out and his family's healthy, but the thing is, you can't stay healthy if you keep getting pounded and pounded like that. And they relied on him way too much, man. It was like, I don't know, they were thinking he was Emmitt Smith or Walter. Or
nope.
You know?
He's not built for that. Built for speed. He's a wide receiver at tailback.
Nope.
And I like Christian McCaffrey.
Frank Gore.
Oh, no.
Frank Gore.
No way. He wishes he had Frank Gore's durability. Had he had Frank Gore's durability, oh, yeah, he'd be worth every dollar on top of his athletic ability. But no way. I knew that last year when he got beat up watching him take a pounding. I'm like, yo, this ain't going to last. I said, he is not – his body's not built for – he's a little dude. They say he's not built for this kind of punishment. But
and they're trying to play like the AFC North, and they get in that AFC that black and blue stuff, and they're gonna find out how much of a pounding he can take. Hell, he can't handle the Bucs, man. The Bucs.
Oh yeah, every time. Yep, you're right. Every time he's played us, besides the London game, he's taken an absolute beating. Every time, and he's usually hurt coming into the next week. I like the guy. I don't think he lasts more than 3 more years, Johnny. I think he's got a 3-year maximum.
You're being generous, I think. Unless they ditch him the rest of this year and let him get healthy, then I don't see 3 there. I see maybe 2.
2? You got him 2? You're probably right. I was being generous.
Mike Davis there, man, just chomping at the bit to take his place. Anyway.
Biting them ankles. Biting them. And he can get it done. He can get it done. Granted, he jammed. You saw how tough the kid is. He freaking dislocated his thumb and come right back in the game and then take a handoff.
That's like Ronnie Lott playing with his finger cut off.
Yep. That's somebody really wants. That's somebody who wants it bad, and you want those kind of guys on your roster. That's the kind of guys who wants
100%.
That he dislocated. I don't know if y'all heard me. Dislocated his thumb, and then takes a handoff.
That means your thumb is not working at all. So, and he didn't fumble.
Didn't fumble. Didn't get many yards, but he didn't fumble.
Yeah, that's the amazing part is he didn't drop the ball because you have no control without your thumb. That man's something.
It just reminded me of an offensive version of Jason Pierre-Paul. Blown off fingers, broken neck, and still producing over 6 sacks, playing half a season. Amazing. Amazing.
That's a genetic freak right there. You know that.
And when Jason Pierre,
there was another guy. Oh man, another guy played for the Giants that was just a freak of nature, man. I can't remember his name.
I just can't help, Johnny. It's just when Jason Pierre-Paul talks, I can't help but to listen because when
you have to, man.
And when especially when he talked about the Giants, when he talked about they threw him away like he was garbage, where he couldn't produce no more. I could see the pain in his eyes and the hurt that he felt, and I guarantee you that what drives him. And I'm glad the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stuck with him. That's the kind of guy Tampa Bay Buccaneers been waiting to get on their roster for 5, 6, 7 years. A guy like that. And I don't care if the fact that he's 30 years old or whatever it was. I think 29 at the time we got him. That attitude, man, is something that changes your roster. I know people give Tom Brady a lot of credit for his attitude and things like that. You've got to do the exact same for a guy like Jason Pierre-Paul, who played a freaking half of the season on a broken neck. It's insane.
Yep. Absolutely. There's no comparison. There is no comparison in the league, I don't think, to Jason Pierre-Paul. I mean, he's the standard you want to attain. You know?
And you don't get guys like that, but I respect the hell out of them no matter what roster they're on. You know what, a guy who played in our division, but I love this player that still to this day because the way he played. He may have been 5'9", but you couldn't tell him that he wasn't 7 foot. And his name was Steve Smith.
Steve Smith Sr.
My God.
Yes, sir.
My God, that guy's a monster.
When he went to the Ravens, he balled out too, man.
At his age, 30 plus, doing that. I remember he scored a touchdown after breaking an arm. The guy hit him and broke his forearm and still ran in and scored a touchdown. You talking about blocking? Deshaun mentioned blocking. That dude would put dudes on his ass. That guy, you can't help but to respect guys like that. Like he was almost a faster version of Hines Ward, another receiver I loved.
Who didn't, man? Oh man, okay. I got a question for you. I was actually going to get to this earlier, but
it's all good.
We got distracted.
That's what happens here.
Best 2-win team, worst 6-win team or 7-win team.
You said? Say that one more time.
Who is the best 2-win team?
2-win.
And who is the best? Yeah, 2-win.
And who is the best 6-win team? Or you said?
Go ahead. I think it's they got 6 wins.
That's a good one. I know a lot of people. Atlanta's starting to move up. Let me think. You said 2-win team. The Chargers have been playing really, really well. They've just been losing close games.
Oh.
They've been playing really well. I think they're the only team left with. No, they're sorry. I'm wrong. The Washington football team and the Dallas Cowboys both have 2 wins. I don't think either one of us are going to say that they're going to turn anything around. One coming on a 4-loss lose streak and the other on a 2-loss lose streak. But though Washington played a good game this Sunday against the Giants, I believe, the team will turn around, especially with Ron Rivera as his head coach. They will play good defense, and they will run the ball in the future for that team. But as of right now, that team needs to find an identity, and I don't mean the identity on the football team. I mean the identity of their ownership and everything going on there with all the allegations and things that were going on behind the scenes. And when they get that right, that team will start going in the right places because I'm confident that Ron Rivera will turn that roster around. And you said best 6-win team, 6 and above win team. You want me to look?
Yep.
Ooh, Saints. We're gonna.
No. I said the worst.
Worst. Okay, worst. I don't think I want to pick anybody in the NFC West, and that's Seattle, LA Rams, and the Cardinals, because all those guys are playing pretty sound right now, especially with the Cardinals winning the division right now with that game Hail Mary from Kyler Murray. Jesus Christ. If you lost that was a hell of a game. If you missed that game. Worst, I would have to say
my pick.
I have to say the Raiders.
The AFC. Really? I think they are what they are. They are a 6-win team or a 7-win team. However, it ends up at the end of the year. Or
Tennessee.
The Ravens, dude. They came out supposed to be game busters and stuff, and they couldn't beat New England, dude.
In the rain, yeah, but Bill Belichick coaching. My buddy, I picked that.
The rain and the wind should not have affected their game at all since they're a running game team.
That's true. That's true. No, you got a point. You got a point. Yeah, they're a running team. It shouldn't have affected them at all. You're right.
I think the hype got to that team, dude.
They have a pretty solid defense, probably one of the best since adding Calais Campbell to the roster.
Well, he's out now too.
Yeah, he's out. They're missing a couple players that game. But I agree as far as the running aspect. But yeah, the receivers, I couldn't be I could imagine being a receiver on that Ravens team. They're running routes for no reason, pretty much, because Lamar Jackson is going to run 8 times out of 10, or take an underneath pass to the tight end or a running back. But I know Hollywood Brown can't wait.
Actually, you know that Lamar Jackson was known for his throwing. He wasn't a scrambler in college that much. He was known for his throwing ability, man. And he can throw the ball. He just, I don't know. I don't understand the game management there. I've never respected that offensive coordinator. And if that keeps up like this, he won't be there long because, the Ravens don't put offensive coordinators who can't draw up a game plan.
Well, you do know he's the same coordinator that coached Colin Kaepernick, so you're seeing a lot of the same similarities in play style with Lamar Jackson, because it's the same OC that coached Kaepernick in the San Francisco 49ers. So I can definitely dig what you're saying on that. So we'll see how that goes. But the Ravens Lamar can't win a big playoff game yet. They were talking about, does he deserve a big payday? So I don't know about that. He needs to get paid for what he's earned and what he deserves. But as far as to be held as a Patrick Mahomes standard, yeah, I doubt that on a passing the ball ability. But as far as a running ability, he definitely owns that.
By the end of the season, I don't even know if the Ravens will make the playoffs or not. They have the same record as the Browns right now.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
You're right. 6-3, Baltimore and the Browns, and with the Bengals taking up the rear, 2-6-1. You're right.
And the Steelers just own that division right now, and I don't see that slowing down any.
They have no.
It's not like they're coming out game busting. They're not game busting.
Nope.
They're not blowing people out. They're playing steady football, and that's what you want to see.
And that's what Deshaun was saying. He said they keep finding ways to win. That's all you got to do. Don't hurt yourself, but find ways to win. That's what you got to do. No matter how ugly it is, no matter if you lose your quarterback for a couple series, you find ways to win the game. That's all you got to do. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Do what you're good at. Do what you're good at. Don't screw yourself, and you'll come out all right sometimes. But
all
that.
Right, man. I'll let you go.
Yep. Appreciate you calling, Johnny, as always. I'll see you on Friday.
All right, later, bud.
Yep. Appreciate you guys calling in. Allison, you missed out today. You talk Steelers even without you. Johnny Dean and everybody, and Deshaun, just love having all you guys on. Yes, Mike, somebody said trade Evans. I didn't even entertain the thought, but he's entitled to his opinion. Mike Evans, I think, wants to die here in Tampa Bay. His family's settled here. He loves it here. The fans love him. I don't think he's going anywhere. Team player. He is the exemplary of team player. Let me tell you something about Mike Evans. The times I've dealt with him, he stays there the entire time to sign everybody's stuff when everybody else has left. He cares that much. That is why sometimes I get so caught up as being a media member and then with players, because he don't have to do that shit. He doesn't have to do it. He can be a entitled D-bag like some guys are, and then I give a care about little Johnny and Susie and all of them, but they do it. So when something comes up, when something comes up like social injustice or something else like that, you stood by him then when he was signing something for your kids, when he was signing something for your mother, somebody that was in the hospital with cancer. Stand up then, stand up now. That's the things I get upset about, because it was cool when it was something for you, but it's not when it's something that he supports. That's the only issue I really have sometimes when I'm mixed up between being a media person and looking at it as a player. That's the only issue, because I can understand that. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. Screw Drew Brees. You can lose it for the Saints. NFC South just got one more interesting. Yep, Mike, I talked about that. Everybody in media, oh, Saints are done. Our Saints got it. They're going to get the bye week. Blah, 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 blah. Now your quarterback goes down. Up. It changes that fast. You don't know what's going to happen. He looks like he has no hustle. I can't remember who we were talking about at that time, Robert. Oh, you're talking about Mike. I think you're talking about Mike. He has no hustle. I mean, yeah, he does. It's just sometimes whatever. I mean, it's your opinion. I mean, I can't really tell what's going on at the play depending on what you're talking about. But Mike loves this team, and I don't think he wants to go anywhere. He does it, and he does. It's good for him, but you never forget where you came from. Yep. And with that, I'm gonna get out of here. Make sure to check out all the sponsors in the description. I have all the contacts there. You want to get your nice hair done and get a towel massage with a glass of wine, go to Daniela Styling Studios. Check out eWire Solutions. Check out all those guys. They're there. They're great. They're our sponsors here. Fast Track Cannabis Clinics of America. My Cannabis Card. This show is powered by 320 Solar. Danielle, I said earlier, Danielle Styling Studio. And last but not least, the Deck Bar and Grill at Isla del Sol with Cedric Robertson and the gang. Thanks, Johnny Dean. I read it and I said game instead of grain. Like, what am I doing? Trying to do too much at once, man. Trying to give all this stuff and good information out to you guys. But I appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll end this as we always do. You're the master of everything. What you do with your life, what you do with it is entirely up to you. Thank you, guys. God bless. And as always, fire those cannons.